Low voter turnout is assigned to the PNP. Hello again, everyone. Skywalker here with another reasoning. Welcome to my channel. Low voter turnout is exposing a high truth. Depression became Jamaica's political compass. Jamaica is not confused. Jamaica is depressed. And when a nation is depressed, it doesn't riot, it retreats. It doesn't vote, it watches. It doesn't shout, it sighs. That's what we saw in this last election. Not confusion, not apathy, but a collective exhale from a people tired of being lied to, manipulated, and dragged through cycles of pork barrel promises and tribal betrayal. In this case, the blame generally sits squarely at the feet of the PNP. I am not bound to these trigger phrases and prescribed norms. For example, like you have to include both parties whenever you have a bone to pick with the PNP. That is why this party is so stubborn, arrogant, and will never change until the number of their supporters begin to amount to only the number of their leaders. Let's be clear. Low voter turnout in Jamaica is not random. It's strategic silence. It's the sound of PNP supporters staying home, not because they have switched sides, but because they have lost faith. They are not ready to vote JLP, but they are too ashamed to vote PNP. So they sit it out, and in doing so, they hand victory to the only party that's been doing the hard salvaging work, JLP. And of course, there are many undecided voters out there who will use the same diatribe talking about the two parties are the same. Yet they don't know about anything. They just hold on to a trigger, a trigger phrase, let's say. Most of them will end up choosing the Labour Party when they decide to vote. And that is what's happening now. The blood and fire rhetoric and attempts to open a violent portal was not the two parties at it. It was something like that. It was a deliberate destabilizing act of the PNP expecting that violence would be a good thing to attack the crime gone down rhetoric and put Jamaicans in fear again. Evil party mindset. That's what it is, an evil party mindset. Just like they would go abroad to bring down the country and win the election when the country broke down. Jamaica is noticing, and even the little media sorceries are being noticed. Most of Jamaica have long been in a tribal trap. For decades, Jamaica was a PNP country, not because of performance, but because of emotional branding. Michael Manley sold dreams, big ones, dreams of equality, empowerment, and national pride, but what followed was a legacy of disappointment. The PNP became less a political party and more a tribal entity. To be PNP was to be for the people, even when the people were being robbed. And being robbed blind too. The JLP could only win when the PNP tribe was disillusioned. That's the pattern. And now, after years of corruption, criminal entanglement, and economic stagnation, the disillusionment has reached critical mass. Even die-hard comrades are whispering what they never dared say before. People are saying, like, I mean, comrades are saying, if wholeness didn't win, we would have suffered. You get it? That's not betrayal, though. That's survival. But instead of introspection, the PNP leadership doubles down. They cast blame, they point fingers, they accuse the JLP of causing the very depression that they that their own policies birthed. They ignore the fact that crime is down, infrastructure is up, and the economic indicators are stabilizing. They ignore the size of relief from their own supporters. They ignore the truth. They don't want truth. They want a way to sabotage and win all the time. That's what they want. They don't care if Jamaica sinks as long as they win. And when the media giants, by dramatizing wholeness victory, for example, questioning ballot boxes, stirring suspicion just to create a talking point against Andrew Holness, they become complicity in the gaslighting. They feed the narrative that something shady happened when in reality, the only thing that happened was that Jamaica woke up. The media ignores the history that all Jamaica understands about votes that come early, that puts the PNP in front before Mr. Holness pet boxes come in and creams the opponent by thousands of votes. The media turns a natural reality into a sort of puzzle, throwing stones and then hiding their hands in order to hold a no bias mode that Jamaica no longer buys. They pretend like they are not biased. Jamaica is not buying that anymore. Let's talk about the most dangerous part of this election cycle, the threat of violence. When a party starts singing about blood and fire, when they infer that fear of violence should not stop them from doing whatever it takes to win. They are not campaigning, they are conjuring, they are opening portals, and decent comrades feel it. They are not energized, they are disturbed, they are not mobilized, they are depressed. The PNP has become an evil party from the pits of hell, and even comrades have said it in a thousand ways, a thousand times. Why would you not expect a low voter turnout? This isn't America. Donald Trump style politics won't work here. Jamaicans don't respond well to bad mind, blame, and blatant dishonesty. We are blunt, we are spiritual. We know when something feels off, and the PNP's recent tone feels off. It feels desperate, it feels dangerous. The numbers don't lie. 38.8% voter turnout, a historic low. Crime down 43% since 2023, yet fear remains high. The PNP tried to heighten that fear by deliberately calling on blood and fire and instigating adverse contact situations with labor rights. Everything they do is underhanded, but this is no dunce country anymore. The people can decipher it. Honesty and clean, shall I say? Honesty and clean hands. Clean hands and honesty work better. They work better. The PNP seems to hate those words and it's not looking good for them. Remittances down but local resilience rising. PNP support waning, JLP loyalty growing. These aren't just statistics, they are signals. They tell a story of a nation recalibrating, a nation choosing stability over sentiment, a nation tired of being emotionally blackmailed by a party that refuses to evolve. Let's give credit where it's due. The JLP has spent the last 9 years salvaging Jamaica from the wreckage. It hasn't been perfect, but it's been consistent. Fiscal discipline, infrastructure upgrades, crime reduction, strategic diplomacy, and most importantly, a refusal to play dirty. While the PNP flirts with anarchy, the JLP builds. While the PNP sings about fire, the JLP puts it out. While the PNP depresses its own base, the JLP quietly earns respect, even from farmer comrades. That's why low voter turnout favors the JLP because the depressed PNP voter would rather stay home than vote against their tribe. And the JLP voter, they show up, rain or shine, because they see the work, they feel the shift, they know what's at stake. Let's call it what it is. The PNP is suffering from a reprobate mind, a refusal to acknowledge truth, a commitment to deception, a marriage to criminality that they can't seem to annul. And every time they pander to the dunce, they lose two thinkers. Every time they lie to the illiterate, they insult the literate. Every time they stir chaos, they lose calm hearts. This isn't just political failure, it's spiritual decay, and the people feel it. If you feel it too, give the video a like and leave a comment and go ahead and subscribe. From the Skywalker lens, though, this isn't just about parties, it's about frequencies. The JLP is holding a frequency of order, progress, and national pride. The PNP is stuck in a loop of chaos, nostalgia, and tribalism, and the Jamaican soul is choosing quietly, bluntly, decisively. This election wasn't stolen, it was surrendered by a party that refused to evolve, by a tribe that chose silence over sabotage, by a nation that's tired of being depressed. What comes next? If the PNP doesn't recalibrate, Jamaica will become an authentic JLP country, not by force, but by default. Because the people are watching, they are listening, they are remembering, and they are choosing peace over pork barrel, truth over tribalism, progress over propaganda. And if the media continues to dramatize, if the violence portals remain open, if the lies keep flowing, then even decent comrades will walk away, just like I did, just like thousands already have. This is not a warning, it's a prophecy. The leaders before did badly, but the leaders today, instead of making it better, has made the PNP worse. What can go so? Huh? What can go so, my people?